as you can see here, but be cool. Okay? It's all good, but be cool. You gotta be cool if you're in the front row.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is so wonderful to be with all of you. And there's something beautiful about looking at the back windows, to be able to see behind you, to see the sun that's setting. And what always happens is the sun sets and it throws up a beautiful afterglow. And even though we're looking outside and seeing the sun setting, in a sense, we're seeing the sun rise within our own congregation, within our own sanctuary, as Jack becomes an adult within the Jewish community, as he becomes bar mitzvah. And it is always a joy to celebrate in these life moments with all of you. And so we are going to begin recognizing the beauty that exists not only outside in nature, but the beauty that exists within our congregations, within our homes, within our community, by joining together and singing Ma Tovu. Ma Tovu can be found in your Sidurim, the blue prayer book that you have in front of you. It can be found on page 74. Page 74.
Tovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Ohalecha Yaakov, משכנותיך ישראל, מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. ואני ברוב חסדך אבוא ביתך, אשתחווה אל היכל קודשך ביראתך. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. אדוני אהבתי מאוד ביתך, ומקום משכן כבודך. ואני אשתחווה ואכרע אברך לפני אדוני עושי. מה טובו, מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. ואני תפילתי לך אדוני את רצון אלוהים ברוב חסדך ענני באמת אישך. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל.
There is so much beauty in the world, so much beauty in our sanctuary. I want to just welcome you all and welcome Rabbi Rothstein, who's here as well, a dear member of the family. And it is always wonderful to have a rabbi in the family, or so I'm told, by mine. Sure. We are now going to turn to page 88, because moments ago an ancient and beautiful tradition took place where Jack had the talit of tradition, this beautiful prayer shawl that he's wearing, placed on his shoulder by his parents and his grandparents. And it's meaningful that he's wearing a talit that was gifted to his grandfather by his great-grandfather. And that means that 3 generations have worn this talis that is around your shoulders, Jack. And it's a symbol and a reminder of the values that have been so lovingly passed from generation to generation, carried on the shoulders of your ancestors right up to this very moment where they've been placed on yours. And in our Siddur on page 88, there is a text that reminds us that when we fulfill certain obligations and take on new adult responsibilities, there's not only a reward in that it brings sustenance and goodness to others, but there's an intrinsic goodness to them that is in itself rewarding. And so it's a joy now to call upon Jack to step forward as he's going to lead us in these obligations without measure, whose reward too is without measure, on page 88.
These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all.
because it leads to them all. We are now going to turn to page 220 in your Siddur as we turn to Ashrei. Ashrei, in a sense, is like a warm-up to holiness. Each and every letter of each and every verse bids us to praise God, knowing that with each letter in the words of our mouths and our hearts, that we can connect to something greater than ourselves.
Ashrei yoshvei vetecha, odicha lucha selah.
Ashrei shekach lo, Ashrei shadonai Elohav.
David's Song of Praise. I will extol you, my God and sovereign, and bless your name forever and ever.
We read responsively, every day will I bless you and praise your name forever and ever.
Great is Adonai and much acclaimed. God's greatness cannot be fathomed.
One generation shall laud your works to another and declare your mighty acts.
The glorious majesty of your splendor and your wondrous acts will I recite.
They shall talk of the might of your awesome deeds, and I will recount your greatness.
They shall celebrate your abundant goodness and sing joyously of your beneficence.
Adonai is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and abounding in kindness.
Adonai is good to all, and God's mercy is upon all God's works.
All your works shall praise you, Adonai, and your faithful ones shall bless you.
They shall talk of the majesty of your sovereignty and speak of your might.
To make God's mighty acts known among mortals and the majestic glory of your sovereignty.
Your sovereignty is eternal. Your dominion is for all generations.
Adonai supports all who stumble and makes all who are bent stand straight.
The eyes of all look to you expectantly, and you give them their food when it is due.
You give it open-handedly, feeding every creature to its heart's content.
Adonai is beneficent in all ways and faithful in all works.
Adonai is near to all who call upon God with sincerity.
Adonai fulfills the wishes of those who fear God. Adonai hears their cry and delivers them.
Adonai watches over all who love God, but all the wicked God will destroy.
My mouth shall utter the praise of Adonai, and all creatures shall bless God's holy name forever and ever.
We will bless you, God, now and always. Hallelujah. We continue now with the Chatzi Kaddish, which can be found on page 224.
Yitgarov, Yitkara, Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach yirtev yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchay decho Beit Yisrael. Bagala, uvizman kariv, vimeru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach, leolam u'al me'amaya. Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitraman, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitala, shemei kudisha b'rihu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiram be'alma, v'yimeru, amen.
We now rise as we turn to the tefillah, which can be found on page 226.
Adonai sefatayv tivtach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Konei Ha'akol, v'Zocher Hasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Gila Livnei v'Nehem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Hozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaei hakol atah Rav Loshia, Mechalkel Chaim behesed, Mechaei hakol be'rahamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, umatir asurim, kayem emunato lishenei afar. Micha mocha b'gevurot, umito melech memit, umechayem, umatmiat Yeshua. V'ne'eman ata l'chachayot hakol, Baruch ata Adonai, Mechayeh hakol.
We continue now, reading responsively on page 231.
Your might, O God, is everlasting. Help us to use our strength for good and not evil.
You are the source of life and blessing. Help us to choose life for ourselves and our children.
You are the support of the falling. Help us to lift up the fallen.
You are the author of freedom. Help us to free the captive.
You are our hope in death as in life. Help us to keep faith with those who sleep in the dust.
Your might, O God, is everlasting. Help us to use our strength for good.
For blessing and not for curse. For life and not death. For abundance, not want.
Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh hakol.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור, הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You may be seated.
We turn to page 235 as we read responsively at the bottom of the page. For the good in us which calls us to a better life, we give thanks. For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and hands, we give praise. For the peace in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful. For the gift of Shabbat which renews us for life, we offer blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. We turn to Ritzeh on page 236. We turn to Ritzeh on page 236.
Sorry, that was me.
It's okay.
Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu be'amecha Yisrael u'tefilatam be'ahavat תקבל, ותהי לרצון תמיד עבודת ישראל עמך, אל קרוב לכל קוראיו פני אל עבדיך וחוננו, שפוך רוחך עלינו. ותחזן עינינו בשובך לציון ברחמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, המחזיר שכינתו לציון.
We turn to page 239 for our Hoda'ah prayer, our prayer of thanksgiving. There's a lot that we have to be grateful for this evening. I said something similar this morning for Owen, and there's so much that we have to be grateful for with Jack this evening. We are at a time in his life that is a milestone in our Jewish tradition, and it is so wonderful to see all of you here to celebrate with him. We're so grateful for the young man that you are becoming. So we'll read responsively on page 239. For the gift of our souls, for the promise of our lives, for all we are and all we might yet become, for the creative seed sown within our minds, whose nurturing can yield a grand harvest. For all these gifts, we thank you, O God, and pray that we prove ourselves worthy. May our lives be ripe with the fruit of compassion, sweetly sustaining those in need. May we use our gifts wisely and with love, true messengers of blessing to the world. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. Shalom rav al Yisrael amcha tasim le'olam. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
With those words of peace echoing in our minds, we take a moment now for Tefillat Halev, for the prayers in your heart.
יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. אמן. עושה שלום, שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. ועל כל ישראל אמן.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We are going to turn now to page 244 for Seder Kriyat Torah for our Torah service. And we've come to a point in our service where we are going to take the Torah from the Ark, and Jack is going to march it around our sanctuary as a symbol, in essence, that the Torah and all of its beautiful values and all of its ideals aren't simply something that we keep up here on the bima for the officiants, but the Torah is for all of us. And it's meaningful that he will be carrying into the congregation one of two Holocaust scrolls we have here at Congregation Shalom. And this one is over 125 years old and comes from Poland. And the story of this Torah scroll is one we teach each and every week in which we have a bar and bat mitzvah. As all of the Torah scrolls and the lessons that reside within it, this Torah scroll was much loved by the community that would read from it and study from it and absorb its wisdom. And there was one gentleman that was a part of this community that particularly loved this Torah scroll. It's light, it's beautifully written, and our young people really find meaning in how beautifully it's written. And so when the Germans amassed upon the Polish border, this gentleman had a sense of what might befall the Polish Jewish community. So he hid the Torah scroll away. And sure enough, when the Nazis entered into Poland, initiating the Second World War, this man was taken to Auschwitz-Birkenau, where life expectancy was a matter of days, where all of the Jewish Polish community was taken to concentration camps and death camps. And what was once such a beautiful and vibrant Jewish community in the nation of Poland became almost extinguished. Sure enough, after the conflict ended and the camp was liberated, that man returned to where he had hidden the Torah scroll away, and he brought it to a small surviving remnant in Warsaw. And when that community, that remnant, became so small because people moved to places such as the United States and Canada and Israel and Western Europe, the community became so small that it decided to send the Torah scroll to the United States, which is when Congregation Shalom learned about it and brought it here to Milwaukee. And the purpose of it being sent to the United States is that a Torah is meant to be used, especially by young people, so that they can grow with a sense of spirituality and enable the spark of hope and liberty and freedom for all humanity to be kindled and continued. And that means that when Jack carries and reads the Torah amidst our community, it represents not only the hard work that he's done and how he's been able to learn from Torah, but it represents how every young person, no matter their religion, their nationality, their ethnicity, can be a source of light unto the world, no matter how much darkness we might see in it. You know, when we look outside and we see the sun setting, we can't help but think about the darkness that we're experiencing, not only the physical darkness, but in a sense the spiritual darkness that has crept over the world. Moments like these, when young people are coming together, both this morning and this evening, to read from the Torah and to take on the values that are held within it, are very special. It's a little bit like this Havdalah candle, which we'll light towards the end of the ceremony. knowing that despite the darkness, we can bring light into it, especially through our young people, can give us a hope for that next generation. So it's meaningful to pass this Torah from generation to generation in Jack's dear family. And so it's meaningful to call up those who are going to open up our doors. We call forward Bodie and Harper, and Louisa and Otto and Vivian Bazelon. And we call forward dear grandparents. We call forward Sue Bazelon and Mike and Kate Bazelon and Abby and David Schwartz. And we also call forward dear parents Amy and Adam, who are going to stand next to Jack, and Jack is going to have his brother and sister standing next to them. Okay, let's rise. We were already opening up the ark, so let's rise. And we call forward Harper and Bodie to stand next to their brother as well.
En kamocha va'Elohim Adonai, ke'en kema'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltecha b'chol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Adonai oz le'amo yitein. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah. Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah. Udevar Adonai mirushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah Torah. Baruch shenatan Torah Torah. Le'amo Yisrael bikedushato.
Torah, Jack, as you well know, this is the Torah, and found within it are all of the values that are lifted high and embraced by your family for generations. Values of being kind and generous of spirit, being strong and gracious and embracing. It is a joy to pass this Torah from the generation of your grandparents to the generation of your parents. And now, Jack, it is being placed on your shoulders where it should remain with good health and much happiness. We now turn and face the congregation as we recite the watchword of our faith, the Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Lecha Adonai HaGedula, VeHaGevura, VeHaTiferet, VeHaNetzach, VeHachod. Ki chol b'shamayim u'va'aretz, Ki chol b'shamayim u'va'aretz, Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, Ve'hamitnaseh lechol erosh. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, Lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, Lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, Lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, Lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, Lo yilmedu od milchama. Lo
יסגוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יסגוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יסגוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לה 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 לא יסגוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יסגוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לה 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 לא יסגוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה. לא יסגוי אל גוי חרב, לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה.
You may be seated.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. This afternoon's Torah portion by Yetzeh and Jacob left details Jacob's time after fleeing Haran, afraid for his life after stealing his father's blessing from his older brother Esau. He works at his uncle Laban's for many years to marry Rachel. As a shepherd, he builds for himself and his family thriving flocks and herds, eventually enough to set out on their own. You can find the Torah blessings on page 250, and Jack will be reading from Genesis chapter 28, verse 15 in the Hertz, the bigger blue book, on page 106.
So join now to call upon our first Aliyah, to call upon Sue Bazelon and Mike and Kate Bazelon and Abby and David Schwartz, to call forward dear grandparents. Ya'amdu, Shoshana bat Norman v'Natalie, v'Michaela ben Robert v'Anita, v'Abigail bat Meir Hirsch v'Devora, v'David ben Mordechai v'Chana.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach, hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bochar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai notein ha'torah.
Anochi imach, ushmarticha bechol asher telech, v'hashivoticha adamav hazot, ki lo ezovecha ad asher imasiti et asher dibarti lach, vayikatz Yaakov mishnato vayomer, achen yesh Adonai bamakom hazeh. V'anochi lo yadati, vayra vayomar manora hamakom hazeh, ein zeh, ki im beit Elohim, v'zeh sha'ar hashamayim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nota b'tokeinu. Baruch atah Adonai notein ha'torah.
Amen. There's nothing better than hearing a choir of grandparents so chant so beautifully. So join now to call upon dear aunts and uncles, to call upon Maureen Bazelon and Matthew Bazelon and Shira and Schwartz and Jason Schwartz. Ya'amdu, Matisyahu ben Michael v'Shoshana v'Shira v'Av Shalom ben David v'Abigail.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMbarach.
Baruch Adonai Barak Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMbarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vashkem Yaakov baboker. Vaikach et ha'even asher sam mera'ashota. Vayasem ota matzeva. Vaitzok shemen al rosha. Vaikra et shem hamakom hahu Beit El. Ve'ulam luz shem ha'ir la rishona. Vaidar Yaakov neder lemor. Imiyeh Elohim imadi. Ushmarni badera hazeh. Asher Anochi choleh v'natan li lehem lechol uveged lilbosh.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torat emet. V'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yesher koach. Beautiful Aliyah. It's a joy now to call upon dear parents and your dear sister to step forward for the third Aliyah. And Bodhi, why don't you come on up and stand next to me? And it's a joy to call upon Chana bat David. Ya'amdu, Chana bat David v'Avigail, v'Adam ben Michael v'Shoshana, v'Chaya bat Adam v'Chana.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMbarach.
Baruch Adonai Barak Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMbarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'shavti v'shalom el Beit Avi. V'haya Adonai li le'Elohim. V'ha'even hazot asher samti matzeva yeh Beit Elohim. V'chol asher titem li aser a'asrenu lach. V'yisai Yaakov raglav. V'yelech artza b'nei kedem.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torat emet. V'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ya'amod, Ya'amod ha-bar mitzvah. Ya'amod Yisrael mer ben Adam v'chana hanechbad. It is with great joy and great fanfare that we call forward Jack Bazelon as he becomes a bar mitzvah.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMvarach.
Baruch Adonai Barak Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai HaMvarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Vayar v'hinei ve'er basadeh. V'hinei sham shlosha eretzon rovtzim aleha ki min ha'be'er hahi yashku hadarim v'ha'even gedola al pi ha'be'er v'ne'esvu shama chol ha'adarim v'galu et ha'even me'al pi ha'be'er v'yishku et ha'tzon v'heishivu et ha'even al pi ha'be'er limkoma Vayomer lahem Yaakov achai me'ayin atem Vayomeru mecharan anachnu Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher natan lanu Torat emet V'hayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Jack, turn to your left. Give your mom, your dad, your brother, and your sister a big hug and a kiss. They deserve it. You deserve it. You know, sometimes, I'm not going to interrupt those hugs. You know, sometimes not only the content of the Torah portion is meaningful to the moment, but sometimes the form too. You were reading right along a seam in the Torah, a place where this section of the Torah is attached to the next. And that's meaningful, because when you look out at this congregation that's filled with friends and family and people who love and adore you, there are certain people in this world that are like seams that bring people together. Your parents are such people. They are surrounded by extraordinary people. The fact that you're sharing your day of becoming bar mitzvah with Owen, and that you are in a sense linked to him in this beautiful cycle of reading too, shows that not only are your parents like the seams that bring people together, but so are you. You're learning from them. There is an expression in our tradition that I think I've shared with you before, that when we look to our parents and think about the blessings that come from them, they give us tremendous yichus. Do you know that expression? It means that from your parents, you get tremendous blessings. But when they look at you and they see all of the extraordinary things that you're doing and who you're becoming, you give them tremendous nachas. Never forget what it means to feel that sense of yichus, and never forget what it means to give that sense of nachas to the people who love you. Because when you look into their eyes, you will see extraordinary pride. And that is what it is to experience the face of God. So Jack, never stop growing, never stop uplifting the Torah with all of your deeds and with all of the righteous ways you live your life. I have now the privilege of calling forward others who are going to lift and bind our Torah. It's a joy to call upon Randy and Danny Arnstein and Rachel and Matt Weinberg as they're going to lift and bind our Torah scroll. We invite you all to rise now as we turn to Hagba and Galila.
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Lai la 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 la. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, la 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 la. Lie, lie, la lie, 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 la lie, 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 la lie, 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 la lie, 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 la lie, 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 la lie, 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 la lie, 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 la lie, lie, lie.
You may be seated, and now Jack is going to read the English translation of his Torah portion.
And here I am with you. I will watch over you wherever you go, and I will bring you back to this soil. I will not let go of you as long as I have yet to do what I have promised you. Waking from his sleep, Jacob said, "Truly, the Eternal is in this place," and I did not know it. He was awestruck and said, "How awe-inspiring is this place? This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven." Rising early that morning, Jacob took the stone that he had put under his head and set it up as a monument. He then poured oil on its top. He named that place Beth-El, but originally the town's name was Luz. Jacob then made this vow: "If God is with me and watches over me on this path that I am taking and gives me bread to eat and clothes to wear, and if I return safely to my father's house, then will the Eternal be my God. And this stone that I have set up as a monument shall be a house of God." And of all that you give me, I will dedicate a tenth to you." Jacob then moved on and headed for the land of the people of Kedim. He looked a well in the field, with 3 flocks of sheep lying at rest by it. Because this was the well from which they watered the flocks, a good-sized rock lay on the mouth of the well. When all the flocks were gathered there, they, the shepherds, would roll the stone off the well's mouth and water the flocks. Then they would put the stone back in place over the well's mouth. Jacob said to them, "My friends, where are you from?" "We are from Haran," they said.
We turn now to a second biblical reading that we do Shabbat and when we have B'nai Mitzvah, known as the Haftorah. And the Haftorah comes from the section of the Tanakh known as the prophets. And the prophets weren't foretellers predicting some type of future. Rather, they were forthtellers. With their words, with their actions, they wanted to push our society to become more just, more righteous, more equitable in the face of the despair that they were seeing. And so it's meaningful that Jack is going to be reading from Hosea chapter 12, verse 13, which can be found in your Hertz Chumash on page 118.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Yisrael amo uv'nvi'ei hamet v'tzedek. Vayivrach Yaakov Sedei Aram Vayavod Yisrael Be'isha Uviisha Shamar Uvnavi Ha'elah Adonai Et Yisrael Mimitzrayim Uvnavi Nishmar Hichis Ephraim Tamrim Vidamav Alav Yitosh V'cherpato Yashiv Lo Adonav Kidaber Ephraim Retate Nasahu B'Yisrael Vayasham Baba'al Vayamot V'ata Yosifu Lachato Vayasu Lahem Masecha Mikaspam Kidbunam Atzabim Maseh Harashim Kulo Lahem Heim Omrim Zovchei Adam Agalim Yishakun Wachen Iyu Kanan Boker V'chatal Mashkim Holech Kimot Yesoer Migoran Uchashan Me'aruba Ve'anochi Adonai Elohecha Me'eretz Mitzrayim Ve'Elohim Zulati Lo Teda U'Moshiach Bilti Ani Daticha Bamidbar Be'eretz Taluvot Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Tzur Kol HaOlamim Tzadik B'chol HaDorot HaNe'eman HaOmer Ve'oseh Hamdeber Umkayim Shekol Devarav Emet V'Tzedek Al HaTorah Ve'al HaAvodah Ve'al HaNevi'im Ve'al Yom HaShabbat Hazeh Shnatata La'anu Adonai Eloheinu L'Kedusha V'Limnucha L'Chavod U'Tifaret Al HaKol Adonai Eloheinu Anachnu Modim Lach Umvarchim Otah Yitbarach Shimcha B'fi Chol Hai Tami Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Yasher Koach.
You chanted Haftarah so wonderfully for us this evening. Your dedication to learning your Torah and your Haftarah and to leading us in this service this evening is very apparent. You put in a lot of hard work. We're very proud of you. If you look out at everyone who's in our congregation, you can see their eyes shining and their smiles, and they are so very proud of you this evening, and all the people who are behind you as well. I know we're all so proud of you and the young man that you are becoming. This evening we will continue with the prayers for our country as well as for the state of Israel. So we turn to page 258 as we rise for the prayer for our country. We read together, O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen. And for the state of Israel, Avinu Shebashamayim Tzur Yisrael v'Goalo Barech et Medinat Yisrael Reshit Tzmichat Gulatenu Hagen Aleha be'evrat Chasdecha Ufros Aleha Sukat Shlomecha Ushlach Orcha v'Amitcha l'Rasheha Sareha v'Yoetzeha V'Taknem be'etza Tova milfanecha V'Natata Shalom ba'aretz V'Simchat Olam liyoshveha V'Nomar Amen. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. And it is an honor to invite up Levi Schwartz, Micah Schwartz, Eden, Emma, and Noah Rothstein to open our ark as we return our Sefer Torah to it. We turn to page 256. Behold, a good doctrine has been given you, my Torah. Do not forsake it. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace.
Etz Chaim lama chazikim ba v'tomecheha meushar deracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kekedesh.
You may be seated. And now Jack has prepared these words on the occasion of his becoming a bar mitzvah.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you all so much for being here to celebrate with my family on my special day. Today, I celebrate my becoming a bar mitzvah, which means that I am at the stage in my life where I begin to take on more responsibility for my Judaism and how I will live as a Jew. I will decide if I want to be a part of more services, fast at the holy days, be involved in Jewish youth groups, and take part in social action projects. I need to be more respectful, become more mature, work harder for the things that I want, be more in touch with people, and be more respectful to my parents and siblings. The dream to live peacefully as a Jew is unfortunately not a reality for most at this time. For my bar mitzvah, I have chosen to participate in the bar mitzvah twinning program through Yad Vashem. Yad Vashem is the Holocaust Memorial in Israel. Through this program, I am able to commemorate the life of Jack Dresner, who was murdered in the Holocaust before he had an opportunity to celebrate his own bar mitzvah. Jack was born in 1927 in Paris, France. He, his mother and father, Sarah and Isaac, were taken to Auschwitz in 1942, where they were all murdered. On the bima today, there is a tallis on an empty chair symbolizing the empty space for Jack. I celebrate today in his honor. May all their memories be for a blessing. Today I read Torah for the first time. My Torah portion is Vayetzi from the book of Genesis. In the start of my portion, Jacob goes to sleep on a rock as a pillow. As Jacob is sleeping, he wakes up from a dream. In the dream, he sees a ladder with angels going up and coming down the ladder from the clouds, and God is above the clouds. As he sees God, God makes a covenant with Jacob. What I find interesting about my Torah portion is the dream aspect. Jacob works hard for his dreams to come true, and I think in order to make a dream come true, you can't just dream it. You have to live it and put work into making it a reality. I have a couple of dreams for my life. One is that my whole family lives a healthy life. Two, that my sister, my brother, and I will be very happy doing things that we love and comfortable when we get older. I also dream for my siblings and I to get along throughout our whole lives. Lastly, to stay close with good friends and build good connections with them. God chose Jacob for a few reasons. He wasn't passive and he made things happen. I will make my dreams come true by working very hard at what I love to do, trying to put in more work than what is required, and making goals for myself with a plan for how to achieve them. In my eyes, people that have made dreams come true are my dad and my mom. To make dreams come true, you need both hard work and dreams. Jacob worked really hard for his dreams to come true, and like I said, reaching out to others is a dream of getting closer to them. In order to be close, you have to be taking action, which is a part of my bar mitzvah. When you are trying to make your dreams come true, just know that the journey is just as important as the destination, because all that hard work you put in will pay off as expected in the end. One of the dreams of the Jewish people for thousands of years has been to live peacefully in their homeland, the land of Israel. Unfortunately, as we all know, this peace was shattered in the early hours of October 7th, when Hamas attacked and invaded Israel, taking hostages and killing many Israelis. Part of demonstrating our responsibility to our community as a maturing Jewish adult is to help others. Both Owen and I are collecting funds to help those in need in Israel during this time of crisis. We will be donating to the Israel Emergency Fund, which will give direct aid for food and financial assistance, evacuation, housing, support for those communities directly living on the front line, assisting the victims of terror, trauma relief, and psychosocial care, emergency medical services, and healthcare. We really want to help people who need this assistance. To that end, in the program, which you received upon entering the sanctuary, we have placed a QR code, which will take you directly to the site to donate to these emergency relief efforts. Thank you to everyone who feels inclined to giving during these most challenging and urgent times. I feel incredibly lucky to be here today, and I have many people who have helped me to reach this special day. Thank you so much to Rabbis Noah and Pizlowski for helping me to understand my Torah portion and my speech, to Cantor Perper, Sam, Mrs. Green, and Mrs. Rosengarten for helping me to learn my prayers, Torah and Haftarah portions, as well as all of my Hebrew school and religious teachers throughout the years. Thank you so much to my amazing friends for making me laugh and smile and laugh, and for being there for me always. I'm glad that you guys are able to be here today. I am so lucky to have the most amazing family. I have amazing grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. I love how well we all get along. I love when we get together over Thanksgiving, go on trips for grandparents' birthdays, and when you come to my sports events. I know that not everyone is as lucky as I am to have such a large extended family. Bodie, I admire how creative you are. You do plays, art, gymnastics, and so many other things. I like when we go tubing on the lake or Ohio River, and I love teaching you sports. I know that as we get older, we will continue to get even closer. You're a great brother, most of the time. Harper, I admire the way that you are always open to trying new things. We have a similar sense of humor, laugh at the same things, and tend to pick on Bodie for the same things as well. I love having you for an older sister. Dad, I admire how inquisitive you are and that you are so hardworking in a career that is obvious that you love. You have taught me everything about sports that I know. I enjoy watching sports with you, going to the baseball field with you, going on our family trips, and of course going to different ballparks with you. You're an awesome dad. Mom, you are such a great mom. You take such good care of all of us no matter what. I love how friendly and caring you are. You always try so hard to get us not the only things that we need, but also the things that we want and will enjoy. I think I get my sense of humor from you. We both like the same funny videos, even if they're inappropriate. You're the best. Thank you so much, Mom, Dad, Rachel, and Matt, for planning this incredible day for Owen and me. I am really lucky to celebrate my bar mitzvah with my best friend and our incredible families. Thank you, everyone, for being here today, whether you came from near or far. Your being here means a lot to my family and to me. As you all leave the sanctuary once the service ends, please be sure to take your VIP pass and bracelet. You'll need it to enter Gather as we move from the synagogue to the event space for the party. I can't wait to celebrate with all of you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Now it's a joy to call upon Adam and Amy and Bodie and Harper to share their words of love for Jack as well.
Jack, I can't believe it's already your bar mitzvah because it feels like mine was just yesterday. I'm so proud of you for your big accomplishment today. I know how much you have worked on this, and it's so impressive all the time and practicing you put in onto this special day. Even though we don't always get along, you're an okay brother. Just kidding. Good job at trying to stay in Lake Louise longer than me during the polar plunge. You're so funny, and I love hanging out with you and sharing our music taste. Thanks so much for making vacations a lot better. I love you so much. Mazel tov.
Jack, you're the best brother I could ever imagine. You're cool, kind, happy, funny, even though you can drive me crazy sometimes. And you're amazing at sports. Thank you for telling me the good and not so good teachers at Bayside and looking out for me. I really appreciate it. And I love the times when we get to go up north and on other vacations and play with minnows, leeches. We get to fish and have a blast. I love you so much. You're the best, and I can't wait to celebrate with you. Congratulations.
You can stay up here. Wow. Dad and I are so incredibly proud of you. You read your Torah so seamlessly and with such confidence, and you spoke so eloquently about what your Torah portion means to you. I am so impressed with your determination and drive to prepare for this day, although I shouldn't be, as hard work, practice, and determination are what drive you in most things that you do in life. Jack, you have been reaching for your dreams since you were a little boy. Years ago, you must have been around 6, I asked you to run out and grab the mail from the mailbox. You bounded into the house with your little arms full of mail and the biggest smile on your face. "Mom, we got a letter from Michigan," you exclaimed. "They're recruiting me for the team." You were beaming. It wasn't a question. You were sure of it. Of course you were. You were being recruited for the University of Michigan basketball team. I didn't have the heart to tell you that both me and Dad are alums, and it is most definitely alumni mail, but that's neither here nor there. You had been putting in so much time on the court chasing your dreams.
From that young age, it was so evident that you were going to do what it takes to make your dreams come true. You dropped the mail on the counter and ran outside to practice some more. As you said so articulately in your speech, dreams don't happen without grit and hard work. And that is one of the things about you that makes me the most proud. You never stop working. And it isn't just with basketball. You have such a love of sports, so working hard to make your basketball and baseball dreams come true is a joy for you, with endless amounts of time shooting hoops at the J, hitting off the tee, or working hard at all of your practices. But you also strive to make your dreams come true in other ways. You work hard in school and push yourself to be the best version of you. You care deeply about other people's feelings, and you stand up for what you believe in. Keep it up. Those qualities will not only help you reach your goals and dreams, but they will continue to mold you into the excellent young man you are becoming. You said the journey is just as important as the destination, and that couldn't be more true. As you may have already experienced in your 13 years, and as you will throughout the rest of your life, there will be setbacks, both on the court or field and off. The way you handle those setbacks will set you apart. If you can fall, get back up with grace and dignity and humility, then there will be nothing that you can't conquer. Watching you lead services with such strength and ease made me one proud mom. As we all know, the world is such a scary place in the midst of war and the continued rise of rampant anti-Semitism. Continue to speak up when something doesn't seem right, and continue to take pride in your faith, because you are the future, and the future needs bright, strong people like you. Keep doing what you're doing, Jack. Set goals and reach for them. It is a fact that with your hard work, practice, and determination, you will soar. And I can't wait to have a front seat to see where life takes you. I love you more.
All right, you ready for some yichus? Did I use that correctly? Well, first of all, I want to thank the clergy, Rabbi Puzlowski, Rabbi Noah, and Cantor Perper. They did double duty this morning for the Weinbergs. Owen's bar mitzvah, he did amazing, and tonight, so thanks for putting in extra time for us. Jack does not like the Grateful Dead. This is a cold, hard truth that I learned over the course of many years of many long drives for baseball and basketball tournaments to places like Bettendorf, Iowa, Waukegan, Illinois, and Fort Atkinson. The normal routine is that he would let me listen to the Grateful Dead or Fish for the first 10 to 12 minutes of a car ride. But like clockwork, at the 12-minute mark, right around the 72 East off-ramp to Madison, he would say very politely, "Dad, can we change the channel?" Others in your family are not so polite when asking. Then our rotation would be 10-spot, Pitbull Radio, and Diplo Revolution. When nothing was hitting him the right way, I would sneak back to 90s hip-hop, hoping this would pass for the 10-spot, and I would typically get away with a song or two. Alas, more recently, he's opted to bring his headphones in the car, bypassing this charade that I have so dearly cherished. Why am I telling you this story? It really highlights several things that I love about Jack. First and foremost, I love his hard work ethic and passion, not only in the sports that he loves, for which we have spent these countless hours together in the car, but in all aspects of his life, including his vigorous study and preparation for his bar mitzvah. You did amazing today. I'm so proud of you, and I never had any doubt. You had your Torah and Haftorah portions down cold seemingly months ago. You tackled your bar mitzvah preparation with your normal determination. And his mom said, whether it's working out, going to play basketball at the JCC until after I'm in bed, or hitting off the tee in the garage at all hours of the night, which I know because our bedroom is right above the garage, or perhaps all three back to back, you thrive on pushing yourself. There's a quote from a famous football player that really captures Jack's work ethic, and that is, "Success isn't owned, it's leased, and rent is due every day." Although you may not know what a lease is, you are the living personification of this quote. The second reason I tell this story of the car rides is because I feel so lucky to have coached you in baseball and basketball. The time we have spent together in the car, in gyms, and on the baseball diamonds is time I would not trade for the world. There are many times I would have a difficult and stressful day at work, and the second I stepped on the baseball diamond, I felt like a new person. My worries and stresses would melt away instantly just by the simple act of saying hi to you and your teammates, hitting infield, or throwing batting practice, which Jack has not hesitated to tell me I've gotten progressively worse over the years at. You work hard in ability. Oh, sorry. Okay. Your hard work and abilities gave me the privilege of coaching you and your teammates, and I thank you for that gift. And lastly, this story shows our shared love for sports, whether it's managing our fantasy team, which is really you just telling me what moves you made, going to a Bucks game, or following the Brewers for an out-of-town series. This is all truly magical time spent together. It's really little moments here and there that mean so much, like getting autographs at Fenway, sitting in awe at the White Sox Stadium watching Freddie Peralta get loose up close. We have so many moments like these that are each pure magic in their own way. Seeing you become a bar mitzvah is so meaningful. This tallis that your grandpa wore that I didn't realize his grandparents got for him from Israel that I wore and now you're wearing is so special and provides a deep connection to your Jewish roots. I also want to say a word about Jack Dressner, who Jack spoke about. He was killed in a concentration camp at the age of 13. His crime, being Jewish. Now, like many other trying times for the Jews throughout history, is a time to stand up and be unapologetically proud of your Judaism. Today we celebrate for him, for his family. His parents' names, like you said, were Surah and Isaac, and they were both killed at Auschwitz as well. Please say his name in your head or out loud. If we say or think his name, this is more likely than it has ever been said or thought of since 1942. Jack Dressner. We celebrate for all Jews who have not been fortunate enough to read from the Torah to become a bar bat mitzvah. We celebrate for the Jews in Israel who want nothing more to live a safe and secure life. I have a vivid memory of being at High Holidays service in Cincinnati and seeing your great-grandpa, Morty Schwartz, of blessed memory, bawling, crying profusely 5 minutes into the service. And I turned to Amy and I'm like, this is only the opening hymn. What's going on? But I get it now. Standing next to his kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids in front of the ark and engaging in prayer. Now that you are bar mitzvah, you understand that these prayers and traditions are not empty gestures, but meaningful rituals that connect us to our ancestors. Lastly, and to bring this back to Jack, I want to say I am also impressed with his ability to escape from trouble seemingly at the last minute. You have an ability to jump off a sinking ship right before it goes under. A recent example of this is when we got a call when we were out for the night from Jack saying Harper wouldn't include him in her dinner order to Noodles or Wingstop or wherever you ordered from. I got home that night and had a serious chat with Harper for not including Jack. And she told me Jack had choked her, and she even showed me the red marks on her neck. I then furiously approached Jack about this bad act, and he pled with me that he did not choke her. But I pushed on, and he kept defending himself to the point where I started to back off. At the moment, he could see I started to feel badly for falsely accusing him, and turning around to start walking away, he stopped me and said, "Dad, I didn't choke her. I squeezed her neck." And at that moment, I thought a lawyer was born. Jack, you impress me every day. Keep your Judaism close to your heart and continue working hard and striving for your dreams in everything you do. Sing like you're in the shower and dance like no one's looking. I know I will tonight. I love you.
Thank you.
I just squeezed her neck. I am so grateful, Adam, for your speech because it gives me hope that all our families are the same and that my kids might end up like yours. Adam and Amy, I'm going to ask you to rise now. And Jack, if you would rise with them. And Harper and Bodie, and dear grandparents that are with us, and aunts and uncles and cousins, if you would rise as well, and the friends who we call family and the family who we call friends, if you would join, and community, as we are going to say the words that have been on the lips of our ancestors since time immemorial, as they've seen such extraordinary moments as this one, the Shechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
Shechianu, v'kiyemanu, v'higianu, lazman hazeh. Blessed are you, eternal our God, ruler of the universe, who has given us life, who has sustained us, and who has brought us to this very special moment today. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. Jack, today is a monumental day, and you should feel immensely proud of all that you've achieved. It's truly a joy to witness your growth in Judaism and within our community. And as you step into adulthood, it's clear that you bring a fun and embracing energy to every moment. And I've seen that light and engaging personality here at Shalom, at Religious and Hebrew School, and also at the ballpark with Owen and with your coach Baz. Now, be kind to your dad. The Grateful Dead are truly amazing. And there is a quote that comes from the Grateful Dead that's, I think, speaks to this moment. They say, I think it's Jerry Garcia that said, one way or another, this darkness has got to give, right? And we look at the world and we think about all of the problems that surround us, but yet we're gathered together to watch a young man take his place as an adult within the Jewish community. Jack, you bring a tremendous amount of light. And that darkness, we know it's going to give. So the happiness and pride your family and friends feel today is surely palpable, and I'm honored to share in this joyous celebration with all of you. You did a beautiful job of explaining your Torah portion, Vayetze, and the nature of the dream and what it means to have dreams for the future. I'd like to focus on another part of your Torah portion. We find Jacob fleeing from his brother on his way to his uncle Laban's. Jacob dreams of a ladder that stretches up from earth to heaven, and there are angels of God ascending and descending the ladder, and God stands behind Jacob and says, I am God, the God of your father Abraham and the God of your father Isaac. I will give to you and your descendants the land where you are sleeping, and your descendants will be as dust of the earth and spread in all directions. And through you will all the families on earth be blessed. I am with you and will guard you. I will not leave you until I have accomplished what I have promised. And Jacob awoke from his sleep saying, truly, God is in this place, and I did not know it. This is a house of God. This is a gate of heaven. The next morning, Jacob anointed a memorial stone with oil and named the place Bethel. There is magic here in this parsha, and I believe that if we reflect upon our own lives, we can all point to moments when, upon reflection, we have thought to ourselves, God was in this place, and I did not know it. Now, standing with your family in my study, as we looked at the books of our life cycle records at Congregation Shalom and seeing your name written in our birth book and seeing Adam's name written in our bar mitzvah book, we know that when your name was written, both your father and yours, in that book, that was a time when we could say, God was in that place and in that moment. And when we gathered for Harper's bat mitzvah not all that long ago, we could say God was in that place in that moment. And this morning, as your good friend Owen became bar mitzvah, that was a moment that we can say God was in that place and in that moment. And right now, as you are surrounded by loved ones, family, and friends, and watching you achieve and grow, we can easily say God is in this moment. There will be many such moments in your life, Jack, moments where on reflection you feel the presence of the divine. For Jacob, he had his experience after he left home, as he left the land of Israel and entered into another territory. It was in this journey that he experienced God. But he didn't just let it be an ethereal moment, an ephemeral moment. Jacob set up a pile of rocks to mark the spot and names it the dwelling place of God. And Jack, today you stand on the threshold of a profound journey. You're crossing a boundary, much like Jacob in this week's parsha. Your bar mitzvah service is more than a rite of passage. It's a step into a life where you will encounter moments of deep significance, moments where you might realize God is in this place and I did not know it. Jacob's dream of the ladder with angels ascending and descending is a powerful image. It reminds us that there are connections between the earthly and the divine, between our daily lives and higher realms. And these connections aren't always visible, but they're always there, guiding and supporting us. And as you grow and navigate the complexity of life, remember that you're never alone. You are part of a larger story, a narrative woven through generations. Your mom and dad are part of that journey, and they are wonderful traveling companions for you. As I shared at your sister's bat mitzvah service, your parents were among the first people I met at Congregation Shalom. Your dad brought me here. He was on my search committee. They welcomed me and my family with open arms, embodying the warmth and kindness that are the hallmarks of this community. They're travelers on life's path who not only cherish the journey, but also enrich the lives of those they meet along the way. And your parents demonstrate what it means to be deeply rooted in community and tradition while reaching out with a welcoming embrace. And like the great sages, the string cheese incident have said, they greet every day with full purpose, with passion, and with pride. And your grandparents and your uncles and aunts and cousins and friends all share in those warm and welcoming qualities. And you're also accompanied by Bodie and Harper, who will walk this path of life beside you. Harper has set the path beautifully before you, and Bodie is watching and learning and will follow you up here on this bima in no time at all. As you said, 2 years and 3/4? Does that sound right? You're doing the math, I can see. Yes, that's right. 2 years and a half. Well, what a blessing it is for all of you to be encircled by such caring and thoughtful people. Your friends, your brother, your sister, your parents and grandparents, your whole family and community are touchstones for you on your journey of life. There is no need to literally build a physical monument to this day. Our tradition teaches us monuments need not be placed by or for the righteous. Their deeds acknowledge their greatness. And Jack, your mitzvah project that you shared with Owen, responding to the events of October 7th and raising money and awareness for the war in Israel and its victims, is truly emblematic of both yours and Owen's and your family's characters. This moment, your bar mitzvah service today, is a figurative marking stone in your life. It's a testament to your growth and your learning and your commitment to Jewish values and traditions. And Jack, your journey will be filled with dreams and challenges and achievements. Each step you take is part of a larger journey, a journey where you're not just walking towards your future, but also walking in the footsteps of those who've come before you. And as you mark this special day, think about the legacy you want to make in this world, the marking stones that you will set up in your life. Knowing you and your family, I know your journey will be blessed with love and learning and a deep sense of connection to your community and your heritage. May you find strength in your roots and be inspired to reach high like the angels on Jacob's ladder. Life is a blend of the sacred and everyday, the extraordinary and the ordinary. And I have a hope and a wish and a blessing for you. May you always have the wisdom to recognize the sacred moments in your life. May your journey be as meaningful and transformative as Jacob's journey transformed him into something new. He became Israel, whose Hebrew name you bear. Jack, God has brought you to this moment. May God ever keep you with good health, with good strength, and with joy. And let us say, Amen. And now, Jack, I have the privilege of saying words that are just for you to hear. And then Rabbi Pozlowski and Cantor Perper and I will have the opportunity to bless you.
יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
May God bless you and keep you.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך. יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום.
May God always smile upon you, Jack, and bless you with God's choices of blessings. The blessing of wholeness, the blessing of peace, the blessing of shalom. And let us say, Amen. We are now going to turn to the concluding sections of our service as we turn to Aleinu, which can be found on page 282. It's a joy to call upon Owen Weinberg and Lane Siegel to step forward as they have the honor of opening up our ark doors. And Harper and Bodie, if you would come up to the bema too, because you've got a special reading to do as part of our Aleinu prayer. Please rise now as a community as we turn to these sacred words of Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved, each of us, for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair.
Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with joy, of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. Our thoughts now turn to memory as we think of dear ones who have entered into life eternal. Particularly in our hearts and minds, we are thinking of these dear people for whom we mark the period of Shiva. We think of Alfred Fiel and Barry Levine. To those names, too, we add those from whom we mark the period of Shloshim, the 30-day mourning period. We think of Bibi Burkhoff, Sonia Cortez, Reagan Juliet Field, Richard Lieberman, and Jacqueline Findanke Lindo. If there are names that should be added to this list or any names that should be pronounced differently, I'll call upon you in just a moment. But I want to also share names of dear ones that are still smiling down upon you, Jack, and your family with the same love and affection that they did in life. We think of Anita Bazelon, Bob Bazelon, Dorothy Scher, Meyer Scher, Natalie Soroff, Norman Soroff, Ada Schwartz, Morton Schwartz, Jordan Bazelon, and we reflect on and remember Jack Dresner. If there are names that should be added to this list or names that should be pronounced differently, please do call those names out loud as I look in your direction. In addition to the names of our loved ones, so too do we think of all those who have died due to war and/or terrorism, all those who have died in defense of this nation and allied nations, and certainly our hearts turn towards the east as we think of all of those victims of terror in Israel and all of those innocent victims of war. We think of all of those who have died due to racism and xenophobia and anti-Semitism. We think of all those who perished during the Holocaust. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled as we turn to words of comfort. We turn to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope. The Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, can be found on page 294. We rise now together as one community. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah. Bi'alma tivrach hirute v'amlich malchute. B'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'gala uv'izman kariv v'yamru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudesha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen, yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen. You may be seated. In our tradition, we are taught that those who sow in tears shall reap in joy. It's a reminder that we always turn from sadness to hope and gladness. We always turn from darkness to light. And it is always a light and always a joy to call upon members of our congregational leadership and dear friends of the family. It's a joy to call upon David Arnstein, who is going to present some gifts to you, Jack, on behalf of our congregation. So if you'd like to come up and stand with David on our bima, as he is overjoyed to be able to present you with these gifts on behalf of all of us. It's great to share the bima with you, David.
Thank you, Rabbi. Okay, we got him. All good. Shabbat Tov. Jack, Mazel Tov, did an amazing job. All very proud of you. Mazel Tov to the family, to your parents, Adam and Amy, sister Harper, brother Bodie, and brother Owen. So everyone's here to celebrate with you today. So I feel like a proud parent tonight, Jack, watching you up here. I've seen Jack grow up since he was in diapers, and many, many great memories of being with Jack and his family. We actually experienced the Only Nicolay High School state championship together with Joey, my son, and Adam and Jack. We went up to watch a game. So we had plenty of wonderful times together. And I'm definitely in awe of you, like you're growing up, mature young man, and you did an amazing job today in your speech and in your study, and obviously you took this very seriously, so mazel tov. So on behalf of the congregation, we do have some gifts for you. One is your Bar Mitzvah certificate to Jack Meyer Bazelon that we can leave here for you and probably display that in your house. We also have the book, One Milwaukee. It's called The History of Jewish Milwaukee by John Gerda. It's a beautiful book if you haven't seen it. So now you can add it to Harper's display of her book in your house. You have a tzedakah box and a kiddush cup also. And I have to say, like Owen, very proud of you both switching your mitzvah project to support Israel. And hearing you talk about that today and your family talk about it, very trying times, but you recognize what we're facing. I know you're very proud of your Judaism, and your mom said always stand up for what you believe in, and always is a time to be proud of being Jewish like you are. So thank you for supporting in Israel and the fund, and hopefully everyone will donate to help you support that also. Also have one more gift for you, Jack. Rabbi Noah did a great job today, but he actually forgot one thing. So at 10 Commandments, Commandment 8 is, thou shalt not steal. And I know you're a big Michigan fan. So your coach, he's not Jewish, but he has to learn the 8th commandment of thou shalt not steal. So I got you a t-shirt that you can wear, Your dad will be proud of this, and your mom. But free Harbaugh. So you can wear this proud. Even though I'm a Badger fan, if you guys need a little advantage in a game, we can accept it. Mazel tov, very proud of you. And here you go. All right. Thank you.
But thou shalt steal second. So we are going to turn now to our concluding hymn for this Shabbat before we turn to Havdalah. Oh, you know what? Let's turn to Havdalah. And I'd like to invite up Jack, your family, so Amy and Adam and Harper and Bodie, if you'd like to join Jack on the bima as we are going to close Shabbat. Havdalah is a ceremony that is a ceremony of transition as we move from the joy of Shabbat into the rest of the week. And though the night has fallen and we look outside and we see the beauty of the reflection of the tree, but also the darkness that overtakes us, we bring the light of this day into the days of tomorrow and the next. And so we turn now to our Havdalah, and we invite you to join in the singing as well.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. May the taste of this wine be a reminder of the sweetness of this moment for me and my family.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim borei minei v'samim.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the varied spices. May these spices remind us that the sweetness of the study, prayer, and charity can remain with us every moment of our lives.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei ha'esh borei meorei ha'esh.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the lights of fire. Fire is a symbol of wisdom's power and light. On this special day, I sanctify these flames in dedication to my becoming a bar mitzvah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol hamavdil ben kodesh lechol.
Havdalah offers a distinction between the Shabbat, the day of rest, and the remaining days of the week. It encourages us to realize the separation in all areas of our lives, the holy from the secular, the new from the old, and childhood from adulthood. We look forward to a week and a life of peace, of growth, and of inspiration.
Shavua tov, 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 Shavua tov. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu hakiladi, bimhera veyamenu, yavo eleinu, Mashiach ben David, Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu hanavi, Eliyahu hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu hakiladi.
Before we turn to our closing hymn, just one brief announcement.
So we're really excited for all of you to join us at the party after this. It's in the Deer District, and there is a Bucks game tonight. So I want you all to know that. We have shuttles going down there, and also we have a QR or a code for Uber. There's no valet, so we do Uber rides instead. So if you plan to drive down there, I caution you not to, or you do so at your own risk. So thank you.
Thank you for the very foreboding announcement. Please, let's rise together now as a community as we join together in singing.
Simen tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov u'simen tov, simen tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov u'simen tov, simen tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov u'simen tov. Yehelanu, 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 u'lechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, u'lechol Yisrael. Simen tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov u'simen, simen tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov u'simen tov, simen tov u'mazel tov u'mazel tov u'simen tov.
Mazel tov, everyone. So great. Oh my gosh, both services.
You made it, you did it. So proud of you, bud. Where are we going? Oh, okay. Thanks for that was such a grateful Star, yeah, New Speedway Boogie. That's like a deep cut too. That's not just like on truck. Yeah. That's like Yeah. Thanks for making it nice for me. You're staying at the hotel, right? Yeah. Get to it.